The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers for Friday, January 23rd, reveal that John Finnegan will hide the truth during a Sheila Sharp encounter while Dylan makes a doomed vow. For starters, Dylan will remain apologetic when it comes to her recent evening with Will Spencer. Electra Forrester found out Dylan accepted her share of teriyaki chicken after Will insisted and is now acting like she's committed some extreme transgression. Electra and Will practically forced Dylan to accept their offer of somewhere to live. But now, Electra's flipping out over her overstepping and potentially overstaying her welcome. Dylan has assured Electra that she'll do better and will make another promise to her in Friday's show. Electra warned Dylan that what happened last night can never happen again, so Dylan will once again make it clear that she understands. When it comes to respecting Electra's girlfriend territory, Dylan will vow not to cross any more lines. Of course, that's a promise Dylan presumably won't be able to keep. Electra is totally overreacting to one chicken dinner, but her gut feeling about all this probably won't be wrong in the end. There's a good chance Dylan's going to blow up the boundaries that are in place and make a bold move with Will sooner or later. Electra and Dylan's friendship surely won't survive the trouble that's brewing. Speaking of trouble, Finn will run into some when he heads to Il Giardino on Friday's B&B episode. That's where Finn will spot Sheila and do his best to dodge an encounter with her. However, it's a bad idea to visit the restaurant where Sheila works if you want to avoid talking to her. Finn won't be able to wiggle out of a conversation with Sheila, so things are going to be awkward. That's especially true since Finn knows about Deacon Sharp and Taylor Hayes' mutual feelings. Steffi Forrester Finnegan gave Finn updates on what she'd learned, so he'll have to hide the truth from Sheila as she gushes over Taylor saving her marriage. As for Steffi, she'll worry that Taylor and Deacon won't listen to her repeated warnings. Steffi will have another discussion with Hope Logan Spencer and warn her again as well, but Hope clearly thinks Deacon and Taylor could be good for each other. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Taylor and Deacon will cause a major Sheila blow-up eventually, so stay tuned for any terrible news to come. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say that Steffi Forrester will be busy next week hiring her mother, Taylor Hayes, a security detail. She knows it's only a matter of time before Sheila Carter attacks. No one steals Sheila's husband and lives to tell about it. But the old villainess has mellowed out a bit. Will she throw a curveball and ruin Taylor's life another way? Keep reading to find out. Here's what's coming up next on Bold and Beautiful. Viewers of the CBS soap know that Sheila Carter is going to be furious when she learns that Deacon Sharp has fallen for his therapist and wants a divorce. But Sheila is going to be extra furious because she trusted Taylor Hayes, and she seemed to genuinely think the doctor was helping her marriage. Imagine her surprise when she finds out the good doctor was lying to her and flirting with her husband behind her back. It has been quite a while since Sheila went on the warpath, but everyone in Los Angeles has been kidnapped or shot by her over the years and knows what she is capable of. Steffi Forrester isn't overreacting. The old Sheila would have probably thrown her mom off a balcony by now. Any sane person would make sure that they had top-notch security in place for any of their loved ones on Sheila Carter's hit list. According to B&B spoilers, Sheila Carter could surprise everyone and take the high road and make Taylor Hayes pay another way. It's really going to bother Sheila that she didn't see the betrayal coming because she trusted the doctor. Rather than spend the rest of her life in prison for killing Taylor, she could turn her in to the medical board for her inappropriate relationship with her patient. One could argue that Taylor used her influence as a doctor to break up Sheila's marriage and hook up with her husband. Do you think Sheila Carter will surprise everyone and go after Taylor's medical license? Share your thoughts in the comments below and keep checking back here on Celebrating the Soaps for more Bold and the Beautiful spoilers and news. The Bold and the Beautiful's Electra isn't happy that Dylan and Will had dinner without her. She thinks that Dylan crossed a line. However, viewers are seeing the situation differently. They argued that Electra crossed a line with Dylan, not the other way around. Electra found out that Dylan had her share of Will's incredible teriyaki chicken. She wondered how Dylan wound up eating with him. Will explained that Dylan was helping out with their laundry. She wanted to repay the favor for allowing her to stay there. So, Will invited Dylan to join him for dinner. It was nothing more than two friends enjoying dinner. Electra claimed that Dylan overstepped her boundaries. She didn't want her to get too comfortable around her boyfriend. So she assured Will that she would handle her friend. During their conversation, Electra reminded Dylan that she needed to respect Will's house, his space, and his relationship. Dylan claimed she felt awkward about eating alone with him, but Will insisted. Electra reminded her that it felt awkward because it was wrong. Dylan assured her friend that she would move out as soon as she got a new place. Electra warned her friend that what happened last night could never happen again. B&B viewers aren't liking the way that Electra is treating her good friend. They think she's the one who crossed a line with her mean girl behavior. Most fans took to X to share their thoughts. One viewer wrote, "Electra picking me off with her weird A. She invited Dylan to stay there. Will invited Dylan to have dinner. Why question Dylan? Take that up with Will." Someone else commented, "Electra should have never invited Dylan to stay if she was going to act jealous." The Bold and the Beautiful recap for Thursday, January 22nd, reveals that Steffi Forrester Finnegan made an angry Deacon Sharp visit while Electra Forrester fumed over Will Spencer's dinner date. At Forrester Creations, Steffi spoke with an intern who'd been working hard for over a year and realized she'd already talked to her about the receptionist job. That meant Steffi couldn't give the position to Dylan, so she gave Electra updates and suggested maybe Dylan could apply for an internship. Once Electra joined Will, he admitted there wasn't any teriyaki chicken left since Dylan ate her portion. Electra joked around about Will replacing her, but she was clearly annoyed by this news. Will pointed out that Dylan was trying to repay them by doing laundry, so he urged her to have dinner with him. Electra was worried about Dylan getting too comfortable at Will's house, so she vowed to handle it. At the guest house, Dylan put in more job applications and had a phone call as she tried to score a job, but she ultimately struck out. Later, Dylan came to Forrester Creations, where Electra offered a reminder about their previous conversation regarding boundaries. Electra said she knew about last night's dinner with Will, so Dylan admitted she felt awkward about it. Electra thought that was because Dylan knew it wasn't right and had a problem with her overstepping in Will's home. Dylan apologized and assured Electra that she'd get a place of her own as soon as she could find work. In the meantime, Electra remained irritated over the shared dinner and made it clear that it couldn't happen again. At the Cliff House, Hope Logan Spencer came looking for Taylor Hayes, which led to a conversation about Taylor and Deacon's feelings for each other. Hope admitted she knew the truth and made it clear that she'd support a future for Deacon and Taylor if they had one. Taylor tried to exit this inappropriate discussion, but Hope kept at it and felt that Deacon should be with someone like Taylor, not dangerous Sheila Sharp. Hope got choked up since Deacon was afraid to leave his unfulfilling marriage, and Sheila wasn't even invited to Hope's own wedding. As for Taylor, Hope played up how the doc always put everyone else first and gave her a nudge to do something for herself. Next on Thursday's B&B episode, Steffi showed up at Deacon's place to put a stop to any notion that he had a future with Taylor. Deacon acted like Steffi must have misunderstood the situation, but she knew what she saw and heard. Steffi warned that nothing could happen between Taylor and Deacon. Although Deacon downplayed his Taylor connection, Steffi felt that he was looking for a way out of his relationship with evil Sheila. In the end, Steffi warned Deacon not to incite a crazy woman and put Taylor at risk. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Sheila's wild behavior could indeed become an issue in the coming episodes, so stay tuned. Will Spencer Jr. doesn't know it yet, but he has some serious competition on The Bold and the Beautiful. Spoilers have teased a battle brewing between Will Spencer and RJ Forrester since he returned to Los Angeles. It looks like Bill Jr. and Ridge Jr. will bump heads over Electra Forrester. Is Will Spencer going to get ditched for RJ on Valentine's Day? Keep reading to find out. RJ Forrester fell in love at first sight when he met his cousin Electra at Forrester Creations. Bold and the Beautiful previews reveal the duo will start spending a lot of time together at the office, and everyone will notice the sparks flying between Will Spencer Jr.'s girlfriend and RJ. With trouble brewing at home with Dylan, Electra is easily stealable right now. Electra Forrester landed one of the richest and hottest bachelors in Los Angeles. She has no reason to look for anything from another man elsewhere. However, she's been obsessed with her fashion career since she was a kid and is eager to climb the ranks at Forrester Creation. According to The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, hooking up with Ridge Forrester's son could open doors for Elektra that Will Spencer never could. Sure, Will interns at the office, but he's interested in the business aspect and not the runway like his girlfriend. Will definitely doesn't have the influence at FC that RJ can offer her. It won't be hard for RJ Forrester to lure Elektra in. All he has to do is dangle a promotion or new fashion line in front of her. This Valentine's Day will be one for the books on the CBS soap, and if RJ Forrester is half as romantic as his father, then he will probably pull out all of the stops for Elektra on the holiday. If she hasn't ditched Will by then to run off with the Forrester prince, she could probably be swayed by a grand Valentine's Day gesture. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers hint that Elektra Forrester may find Dylan's lingerie and assume Will Spencer is cheating. Will a laundry mix-up be to blame and lead to a shocking outcome? In the January 21st episode, Dylan was doing laundry loads that included some of Will and Elektra's clothing. Will was surprised to see their stuff mixed in and assured Dylan that she didn't have to do that. Of course, whenever a conversation like this happens, it's often a sign of trouble on soaps. The fact that B&B devoted airtime to a laundry-related conversation is suspicious and points to a potential plot twist. It may be significant that Dylan, Elektra, and Will's laundry is apparently all jumbled up together. There's the potential for some confusion that could end in disaster for Will and Elektra's relationship. Concerns have already been raised over Dylan hanging out with Will alone at the beach house. Ivy Forrester found it inappropriate, so the writers may be trying to plant some seeds of distrust for Elektra. Elektra herself already warned Dylan that no one likes having a house guest for too long. Although Elektra doesn't want Dylan living in her car, she's anxious to see her friend get a place of her own. However, Dylan is clearly falling for Will, despite her promise to respect his relationship with Elektra. Now B&B may be setting up a laundry fiasco that's going to leave Elektra with major cheating suspicions. It's easy to imagine some of Dylan's lingerie ending up in the wrong place. It could be an innocent mistake if it accidentally gets lumped in with Elektra's belongings, and Will drops it somewhere in his bedroom. Then again, the show just offered up a hint about Dylan's spicy side during her dinner with Will. Maybe that was a clue that Dylan's character is about to take a spicy turn as well. If that's the case, perhaps Dylan will get a little manipulative in the coming episodes. Dylan might plant the lingerie in Will's room herself in hopes of causing problems in his romance with Elektra. Regardless, Elektra might ultimately make a discovery that leaves her fuming. If Elektra finds Dylan's lingerie where it isn't supposed to be, she may assume Will's cheating on her. Elektra might hurl accusations at Will, but a better option might be if she goes running straight to RJ Forrester for comfort. This could lead to Elektra kissing or hitting the sheets with RJ based on a misunderstanding. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers suggest bad news is brewing for Elektra and Will's relationship no matter what, so stay tuned for updates on all the drama. The Bold and the Beautiful gave viewers a realistic look at the economy and job market. Dylan was homeless and living out of her car, so Elektra and Will invited her to live at the guest house temporarily. In the meantime, she's been looking for a job and it hasn't gone well. She initially had her eye on Forrester Creations, but she could also work for a burgeoning fashion house. On the Thursday, January 22nd episode, Dylan applied for a job online. However, she was frustrated by one of the requirements, a master's degree, which she doesn't have. Dylan decided to call one of the positions, but she was still stuck without a position. Meanwhile, at Forrester Creations, intern Jamie expressed interest in the front desk receptionist position. Steffi informed her that she had someone else in mind. Jamie reminded Steffi that she's been there 14 months. Steffi realized that Jamie was the more suitable candidate for the position. Later, Elektra came in to discuss her business trip with Ivy. Steffi informed her that Dylan should apply to be an intern since Jamie is getting the administrative position. Forrester Creations may own the luxury world, but there's a new fashion house in town, and Will's got connections. Elektra already doesn't like knowing that Will and Dylan had dinner together the night before. In that same episode, Will broke the news to Elektra that Dylan had his chicken teriyaki. Elektra jokingly asked if she was being replaced, but then she wondered how Dylan ended up eating dinner with him. Electra doesn't want her friend to overstep her boundaries when it comes to her relationship with Will. But Dylan and Will be spending a lot of time together while Electra's away. Dylan's likely to share her struggles with the job hunt. Will could bring up his mom's new fashion house, since Katie's going to need more than a designer. She's going to need an administrative assistant as well. Currently, Will feels insecure about his position now that his mom has left. If RJ pushes Will out of Forrester Creations, he could easily follow Dylan to Logan. Things are shaking up, and it'll be interesting to see how they unfold. The bold and the beautiful viewers know that Dr. John Finnegan has remained a loyal and obedient husband to Steffi Forrester since day one. But the upcoming battle between their moms could be one fight that Finn's not going to give up. Is Dr. Finn going to shock all parties involved and join Team Sheila? Keep reading to find out what's coming up next on B&B, spoilers below. Despite being the bio son of Sheila Carter, Finn has quite the moral compass. He takes his responsibilities as a husband, father, and doctor very seriously. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say that when the truth comes out about Taylor Hayes having a relationship with her patient, Finn could surprise his wife and point out how unethical it is. He's no fan of Sheila, but his bio mom has a right to be upset. In what world could you send your husband to therapy to fix your marriage and have him run off with the therapist, and it wouldn't be wrong? Sheila Carter could even take the high road and try to sue Deacon Sharp's counselor for malpractice. Steffi Forrester will rally the troops to help protect her mom from Sheila Carter when the truth comes out about Taylor and Deacon. But her husband might refuse to help her. In fact, spoilers hint Finn could even remind Steffi that her mother is having an affair with her patient. A married one at that. Technically, Taylor is being a bit of homewrecker. If Finn defends his mom on The Bold and the Beautiful and chooses her over Taylor, he can probably kiss his marriage goodbye. Do you think it's crazy that everyone is worried about Taylor's safety when the easy solution is don't sleep with your married patients? This week on The Bold and the Beautiful, Ridge Forrester reassured Will Spencer that his job at Forrester Creations was safe. Even though his parents are trying to put Ridge out of business, he's happy to have Will on board as long as it keeps bothering Dollar Bill. But could Will Spencer get fired for another reason? Here's what's coming up on Bold and Beautiful next week. Spoilers below. RJ Forrester is back on The Bold and the Beautiful, already making his presence known at FC. Barely back from Italy for 24 hours, RJ headed to work with his father, Ridge Forrester, to do some catching up. RJ finally got to meet his cousin, Electra Forrester, and they hit it off instantly. In fact, if you didn't know that RJ was really a Marone, you might have been grossed out by all of the flirting the cousins were doing. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say RJ is smitten by Electra and doesn't seem to be deterred at all by the fact that they have the same last name. Think of how easy it will be to pick out baby names, and they won't even have to change Electra's last name on her driver's license. Plus, there won't be any in-laws to interfere in their relationship. Will Spencer was told his job is safe by RJ's dad, but we all know his kids trump everyone else. Look how fast Deke Sharp got his walking papers because Thomas Forrester wanted his job. We're still baffled why Will would want to work his parents out competition and someone who treated his mom so badly, but that discussion is for another day. If RJ Forrester wants to spend more time with his cousin Electra Forrester at work, he's going to have to get Will Spencer out of the picture. It shouldn't be hard to find an excuse for Will to get fired, seeing as how his parents are public enemy number 1 and 2 right now. Is it weird seeing RJ flirt with Electra? Or would they make a cute couple? Donna and Eric are one of the Bold and the Beautiful's most solid couples. However, their marriage might face a major test thanks to Eric's desire to design again. Donna's attitude towards Eric's decision is garnering mixed reactions from viewers. Donna loves her husband Eric, and she wants him to be happy. Designing is Eric's passion, and Donna's always been supportive of his career. However, his latest decision is causing concern. Eric was the founder and lead designer of Forrester Creations. It was a place he called his second home, but thanks to Ridge and Brooke, he was forced into retirement. However, Eric isn't sailing off into the sunset. His desire to design is still burning bright, and he's now teaming up with Katie at Logan. Eric working at Logan will benefit both him and Katie. Not only will she get a talented lead designer to kickstart her fashion house, but he'll still be able to pursue his passion. One would think Donna would be supportive of Eric's new venture, yet she seems reluctant to stand by her man. Donna's behavior regarding Eric has sparked a debate on Reddit. Many fans think that Donna should be more supportive of her husband. Donna should be encouraging Eric to do what is good for his health, which is designing, wrote one viewer. I think they all need to stop forcing him to do something he doesn't want to do. He hasn't shown any signs of sickness or being run down or nothing, so let the man do what he wants, declared one commenter. However, some fans think Eric's health is why Donna's concerned. Stress can be a dangerous thing, and the kind of stress creating a new fashion house entails can be more than his heart can handle. Eric's a grown man and can make his own decisions, and he's determined to design for Logan. But his decision will lead to tension within the Forrester and Logan families. Eric and Ridge's relationship will be further strained thanks to his father's betrayal. Meanwhile, the Logan sisters' feud will heat up with Brooke accusing Katie of sabotage. And of course, poor Donna is going to be stuck right in the middle.